the 0 hour mission to get Outbreak perfected. Ken found a bunch of guides on it that just did not do the trick. A lot of issues with them, and the people that made them clearly don't know how to make a proper video, so we're going to do what needs to be done. We're going to make a real guide.
For the purposes of this video, it does not include how to get the catalyst. This is just a normal version, because if you're running the heroic, then you already know the normal pattern. I'm going to go ahead and load us into the farm.
And I will point out, for those that are not quite yet on the heroic version, I do intend on making a guide for the heroic version once we've done it enough to be educated well enough to make a guide on it, because that is an entirely different beast and deserves a video all to itself.
Don't do it.
Yeah, for the purposes of this video, it's best that they can hear us as clearly as they can. For reference viewers, we're helping our friend Lee through this, so these are legitimate runs that we're trying to do. We may not get it perfect on the first try, but we do know the route. So that's what this guide is for.
Alright, everybody still running the same loadout for this?
Yep. Another thing I want to bring up, viewers, is that it helps to have minor resist mods on your armor here, because the massive chunk of the enemies that are going to give you trouble are the minor enemies, the rank and file combatants and such. So, bear in mind, best to have minor resist mods. For Titans, for groups that consist of mostly Titans or perhaps I would recommend the Lion Rampants if you have them. If you don't, this is still completely possible. It's just something that helps out with it a little. If you don't have anything like that, then make sure that somebody in your group is good with jump puzzles or has a sort of glide that is effective for them.
As far as damage goes and loadouts for this mission, you're going to want to have a large variety. Each person in your team needs to be a different subtype, so one solar, one arc, one void, and you need to have split damage types among your weapons with your fire team. So one person might run a void subclass with solar and arc weapons, or somebody who's running a solar subclass may have void and arc weapons, because there's going to be a lot of variety as far as shield types go in this mission, with shanks having solar or arc shields, servitors will have void shields, and even some of the basic enemies can have arc and void shields. So you just want a large variety, because those shields can take one hell of a pounding before they finally break.
Another thing, if you happen to have the Fellwinter's Lie, that is an excellent choice for your secondary on this one. There are certain enemies that gun will absolutely one-shot, and some that 2 shots from that and a finisher will deal with easily.
Alright, everybody ready to go down?
I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
How about you, Lee? Alright, let's do this.
But I never edit anything, Lee. That said, I will make sure to credit you in the description of the video once I go and add this to a playlist.
Yeah, you don't want to start editing. You know, start doing what those other YouTubers do and skipping out on the 30 seconds of content people actually need help with.
Yeah, that is the dumbest fucking thing to me. Oh, hey, let's, show every single minuscule step of this path, and then on the one part that people probably will get turned around on, let's just skip ahead as if it's common knowledge.
I think it's crazy, because one of the videos that I saw got to one of the rooms where we got stuck a while back, And even he was like, I don't really know how to get past this room, but if you stay in here long enough, I guess something will happen. What what kind of useless advice is that?
Yeah. If you don't know, don't make a guide. Like, yeah, we might get turned around on a couple things, but it's never something as major as, well, you know, I don't know, maybe something will happen. No, it's either, okay, we were one step off. Anyway, so the second you spawn in, you're going to want to start moving. If your team spawns in a little late, that's fine. You can ignore the two fallen that show up there. One of them is an enemy, one is an NPC that kills that enemy for you. Always look for that vent beside the stairs. Follow it, and it will lead you to this place, where you will have at least one or two invisible vandals, but they're easy enough to deal with. This is where you're going to want to start giving call out. Yeah, void shield on Shanks. Whoops.
Arc shield on Captain out there. We also got a servitor reloading.
There's that Captain. Alright, Lee, we're going to need you on the... okay, shield's down on the Captain.
These Shanks are going to take me down before I can break their shields, I think. No, I got them. Good shit.
Nice.
Alright, we got sniper Shanks. Let's take these out, and then let's keep moving.
Yep.
1, 2, start moving. We'll catch up.
So yeah, you won't be able to move on until those force fields dissipate, which will not happen until everything in that area is dead. Again, you always want to make sure you're giving callouts so that everyone on the team knows what shields are on which enemies. For reference, the sabers in this area typically have solar if they have a shield at all. Which makes Fellwinter's the perfect situation.
For anybody who has only played D2 and hasn't messed with D1, the very large Shanks, the very bulky ones, resemble the fallen saber enemy from D1.
Which is why we call them sabers. It's also a good call to have someone handle the sniper Shanks that are sitting at the higher parts of the level. Because they can fairly easily melt a fire team.
I'm going to try to go for the ones in the back, unless you want to get them.
I got this one. At the very least, I've got the one here.
I'm going after Fallen Saber. It's down.
Got him.
That's
Alright, that's it. One other thing for viewers, if someone in your fire team happens to have the special finisher mod for their armor, it's kind of handy to have them use that, because every now and then a golden opportunity for a finisher will present itself. When it does, if you have special finisher, it will spawn special ammo for the entire team, not just the one using the finisher.
So this part is tricky because you have a lot of void shielded enemies out there and a bunch of snipers to the right. Fallen snipers as well as shank snipers. The fallen snipers are not shielded, but you gotta watch out for the void shielded servitors should you make your way over there.
Another thing, in case anybody happens to have it, the Cerberus +1 is an excellent weapon for doing the critical damage on the walker, because the bullets do their damage individually. So whatever amount you're seeing, it is per bullet, not per trigger pull. The Cerberus +1 fires 4 bullets by default, 8 if you have the catalyst. Alright, we need to clear out that sniper shank.
I'm on the sniper shank.
Alright.
Broke the sniper shank, still think there's a sniper up top here. I'm gonna try to take care of him. There's 2 of them.
Alright, so we've cleared out pretty much everything except for those couple of fallen up top there. And now that this thing's neck is exposed, just start firing, like every other walker before. If you have a couple of Cerberus +1s, or if you have the catalyst, it'll absolutely delete this, but as you can see, for the majority of that we only had the one Cerberus, and mine is not catalyst. and we still melted it with the inputs that we had.
Coming up to the next part, you're going to have a bunch of invisible marauders as well as an arc-shielded captain.
I'm going to finisher that one for the ammo.
I'm going to take care of the fallen saber in the next room.
Alright.
It's down. Let's get these snipers.
Yep. One important thing, you all might notice that we're not really reviving each other. The reason for that is revives take more time than they're actually worth. If you're stopping to revive every time that you die, then you are going to lose a lot of time. And as you can see, this is a timed mission. You have 20 minutes to beat the whole thing, and every second you spend reviving is one that you don't have making progress.
Invisible vandals are lining these next couple of hallways.
We missed one.
Go back.
I hate that the Invisivandals don't show up on the radar. That is something to keep an eye out for, by the way. The invisible ones don't show up on the radar, so always double check before you actually head out.
You can generally have a good idea of where they are because their eyes glow, even though they are invisible.
Yeah. On this part, you're going to want to slow your momentum just a bit here, otherwise this fall can really fuck you up.
Once you get to that part, you're going to slide into the entrance that you can see on the side of that elevator.
And this part might mess up a few players. This pathway is under the front of the plane. And then the vent you go into is at the very end on the right. All the way to the end here, and you will find this. You're going to want to go to that one. That's a red herring. The one behind the shelf is the correct one, and you always want to go to the first right. There will be a little pathway here. I have missed the jump, but my buddy Lee up there made it. Alright, let me try this again.
Activated the button.
Alright, so yeah, you're going to go down there, through here. You'll find yourself on one of these little walkway things. This is where you're going to want someone who can do jump puzzles very well, or the lion rampant boots. Because the lion rampants give you amazing control and allow you to make that jump no problem. And the first person that makes it down here is able to pull a lever that will open up that pathway there, the one I just aimed at. And that makes it infinitely easier for everyone else to make that jump. So whoever's your best jumper ought to be the one to do that.
I hit the wrong panel up here. This should be the correct one.
In here, this one, you may get a little turned around with watching me do this, but I'm just going to look straight up for a second. The one that they're going to is most likely the correct one. If not, it's the one on the opposite side. But I'm pretty sure... Yeah, they got the right one. So one last look down. That's about 3-4 levels up. Here's a tricky one. It doesn't look like it at first, but you can land on top of these, and you can actually land on the bars that stretch out from it as well, but that is a much harder thing to reliably land on. So aim for the center platform. Warlocks in particular might have a little trouble with this.
Once you get to the part with the fans, be sure to... Jack, have you already done a jump down past one of the fans?
Yeah, I've already made it down to the bottom.
Okay. When you're jumping down to the fan, you want to look for a red line to the side of that fan. From there, you want to jump into that line and hold up against that red bit until you get past the fan, because you can bounce off that wall if you come at it with too much momentum. It's especially a problem for warlocks.
On this part, it's very similar to the Whisper of the Worm jump of the very similar design. If you haven't done that, though, be ready to slow your momentum quite a bit going onto these rails. And above all else, if you need to jump off of them to steady yourself on them a bit better, do not be afraid to do so. Your glide should do you well. At the end there, you can make your way to this, and in case you only have one good jumper, there is this lever here you can activate, which in turn triggers a bunch of panels that the other players can use to jump on. And then the next elevator or ventilation shaft is here. This is a maze. This one's not my expertise, but Kin knows quite a bit, so...
Once you get down to the maze, you're going to take off in one of the directions. If you have any teammates with you, have them go in the opposite direction. The entire area is a massive square. There's going to be a sweeper droid running around, and if it finds you, it'll do that.
Yeah, perfect timing.
How about that?
The droid wanted to help with the guide.
You're going to run along these patterns until you see a faintly yellow illuminated path leading to the left, left or right, depending on which way you went. Once you go back into that little area, you will see it's another kind of a half box little zone, and you're going to see a panel that can be switched. You're going to make sure you activate that panel, and if the panel says to deactivate, do not touch it. For communication purposes, that can be an issue. Did you get that panel, Jack?
Activated it just now.
Alright, that's all of them. We're making our way to where we gotta go next, which is a safety zone.
Bear in mind, there are several vents on the inner wall scattered around, and that red pipe can be jumped on safely. The vents are like that, and if the droid is coming at you, you can hide inside the vents, or... Oh, I'm gonna die.
I made it. Don't worry. I'm gonna res you.
Alright. This is the one time where a resurrection makes perfect sense.
Jack, go get Lee. I'm gonna hang out
it's
here.
coming back this way, hang on.
Okay, it's gone. Make sure it doesn't turn around. Come to the left, he's on the right side. Lee, make your way over to us. It should be able... Yeah, it shouldn't turn around to come at you. Once that door goes away, Jack it back in there. Come on, Lee. You're going to look
keeping an eye out for
a sign that looks like a person walking. Once you get in this room, two people jump on one elevator, somebody else jump on the other. One of the other elevators available, and activate the panel that is on that elevator. The elevators are going to slowly make their way up, and oh god, it's so slow. Once it gets close to the very top, where you should be able to see somewhere you can land a platform up top. When it gets close to there, you're going to want to jump off as soon as you can, because if these elevators get to the top and quit, they're going to plummet down like a stone. Right about here is when you need to jump to get up. I'm going to shoot out this grate, making our way forwards. For this part of the slide, you want to stay in the middle and avoid any of the objects on the side. When you get close to the center, slow your momentum, otherwise you are going to die. If you die down here but a teammate makes it, have them resurrect you. Y'all made it? Alright, once you come into this room, you're going to see the stairway. Ignore the stairway, come to the opening on the right at the beginning of the stairway.
Yeah, this level likes to give you a lot of red herrings, so bear in mind that the most obvious path will very rarely be the correct one.
So this room either has a motion sensor or a... which one is it? It's either a motion sensor or a timer that opens up a door where you're supposed to be going, which they just went to. We made that with pretty good time. If you don't know where to go for this part, or for that part, just go into each of the rooms with all the gold bars, and eventually you will trigger that door to open. Even if it takes a couple of extra seconds, you've still done well. Once you come into this room, you're going to go all the way back down the hallway until you see that red screen at the very end. Make your way to the far right, and you're going to see a hole in the ground illuminated by an orange glow. Going to jump down there. Make your way forward. The boss room is right up ahead. You jump up here. Make your way up there. Alright guys, I'm going to swap back over to Blink for the boss fight. Go ahead and get started.
So, thing about this boss fight, it's very straightforward. You do enough damage to the boss or kill enough enemies and it will spawn 2 walkers on the sides of the room. 1 walker on the left, 1 walker on the right. Once you've gotten those to spawn, you need to kill those as quickly as possible. So focus them if you can.
You're also going to want to pay attention to the turrets on the 2 different sides, because these turrets will shred your team if you're not careful. Once you jump down here initially, it's a good time to pop supers. You take out all the extra adds and the turrets. Once you take care of those 2 turrets, there's going to be a big servitor with a bunch of small shanks. The shanks are going to have... I can't see what kind of shields those are right now.
Void.
Alright.
I'm going to DPS the boss because it's kind of all I can do with this super right now.
It's fine. We gotta break that servitor's shield on all those shanks. They're lighting us up.
Yep. Servitor's close to death.
Making my way down.
Town.
Servitor's down, going for the shanks.
This fight does take heavy coordination, so keep that in mind.
Servitors, or arc shanks on the left once you drop in. I'm going to take care of the servitor shields in the middle. They're probably going to kill me. Broke 2 of them. We gotta take out that big servitor in the back as well. Because taking out the 2 big servitors spawns the tanks.
Oh, I forgot that there was another servitor. That's my bad.
It's all good, let's keep it going. We got shanks on all sides. These things are fucking me up. Alright, solar shanks in the back.
Damn. Yeah, I'll handle the solar shanks at the back.
Lee, we need you to take care of the arc shanks on the left back. Felwinter's Lie comes in handy against these solar shanks. Don't let the boss stomp on you. We got void shanks in the middle. Trying to get to him.
We got more
They're
arc
dead.
shanks in the backside.
Back right,
So,
looks like.
yeah. Once you're
Boss
done with
is
that
also
side,
over there.
Lee, go ahead and carefully deal with.
The boss is directly under them, so you don't want to get stomped. Boss's weapon of choice is a Scorch Cannon. Big shocker.
Alright, I'm out of special ammo. But some of these shanks have dropped it.
Alright, we got tanks on both sides. Let's go
Yep.
for the left first.
Go
Lee,
for
try
left.
to take care of some of these ads.
Coming to help with the left. Damn it!
It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Healing up with a rift.
Yep.
Try to break this leg. All these fucking ads here pushing my shit in. Tank on the right side lit me up on the left. It's going to be incredibly likely that we're not going to take it out this time, but the boss fight is honestly the easiest part about all of this.
That, and we have achieved our goal here. We've managed to make a proper guide leading to the boss. Once these walkers are dead, you just DPS the boss. Simple as that.
Make sure you kill all the rest of the ads. Once all the ads in the boss are dead, then that's going to be it. Timer stops, and you can see the ending animation. Left walker's down.
Yep. Go for right walker.
It's going to kill me. Yep.
So yeah, we're not going to get it this round, but follow the guide. That'll get you to where you need to go. Also, we don't need to kill the walkers to DPS the boss. It's just that they make it hard as hell to focus the boss. Because as long as those walkers are alive, if you're focusing the boss, they're going to be focusing you. So while you can damage the boss without killing them, it's much, much easier if you do kill them.
If you have anybody on your team with Cerberus +1 or other good tank killing weapons, focus on those tanks and have your third person worry about the sniper ads that spawn with the wave of tanks. It eases up everything, because people DPSing on the tanks need to be free to do that.
Yeah.
Risk Runner is an extremely good idea here because of how much arc damage there is to go around. Risk Runners and Cerberus +1s are both extremely good picks for just pretty much the whole thing.
And just a word of warning to those that, or not really warning, but just something to keep in mind for those that haven't done this before. Every time that you leave the mission, either success or fail, doesn't matter, you're going to get a message that says, "Error, you do not have access to this activity." The reason for that, as far as I know, is because it is a special mission. It's not like the ones where you can just go onto a map and pick the mission, and it's not like the kind where you pick up a quest or something like that and just go somewhere. You have to pick it up from the Fallen in the basement of the farm, and he immediately transports you there. Because of the special circumstances of the mission, I think there's a little bit of an issue in the way they've programmed it that causes that error message. It doesn't actually mean anything. So don't worry if you get that.
If you fail the mission, then head on back to the farm and talk to the fallen captain that's hanging out in the basement of the farm. And if you succeeded, then you've got an Outbreak perfected, which is an incredibly powerful pulse rifle.
I believe that covers everything, unless you want to give them reasons to go for Outbreak.
I think they can find plenty of other videos to, tell them about everything that Outbreak is good for, or the heroic version of the quest, or all that. We can go ahead and cut it here. It's been great doing this run, and honestly, that last run was pretty solid.
Yeah. Alright, so yeah, we're going to call this video here. Again, I do intend on making a guide on the heroic version of the 0-hour mission when we have done that one enough to be capable of making a proper guide. And I actually intend on making quite a few more guides. Just little videos here and there showing how to do certain things and how to unlock certain weapons and such. So, stay tuned.